Screen. And David, why don't you take the floor for a minute while I do an audio check?
Hi, this is TDD.Academy. I'm David Koontz, solo entrepreneur that doesn't have any good ideas to sell. So I'm in search of a good idea. So call me up with a good idea. We've got Lance Kine there and Koala Chin here, who is our Minecrafter and wants to learn. Why do you want to learn TDD, Koala?
Well, my code issue errors and kind of malfunctions a lot, so.
Your code malfunctions a lot. Well,
Yeah.
That is a real shame and something I believe we might can do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're kidding me?
Well, why do you
code
think
has errors? I've never heard of that as a developer. You have errors in your code, Koala?
Yeah.
Why are you putting them in there?
I'm not trying to.
Or do you think they just sneak in overnight while you're asleep? Okay. Well, nonetheless, TDD could help you. What do you got up here on the screen? What are you going to take us through today, Koala?
This is the Roman numeral to Arabic numeral converter that we built previously.
Hey, wasn't this episode about Minecraft?
Well, the workspace is not behaving, so that would have to wait until next
hence
time.
the Rick Ashley background. I see what's going on here. You've just Rickrolled the world.
There's a connection there that's over my head.
We got to send everyone in the, on
Okay.
the audience, send David Rick
So,
Ashley memes so until he gets it.
I got nothing. I don't even know who he is. I guess
basically,
he's a
that guy.
Basically, what happens is you put links down and you trick people into clicking the link, and then they get taken to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up page, and you've been rickrolled.
Does that make sense? So you think you're going to get like money by clicking
Rickrolled.
on the link, and then as soon as you click on it, it's Rick Ashley dancing around singing, "Ooh, never gonna let you down, never gonna da da da." Koala knows the words better than I do now.
That's awesome.
No, I really don't know the words.
Have you been tricked that way, Koala?
No, not.
You don't remember the words from the countless times you've seen the video?
Nope. Eclipse is still being very interesting.
So hang on a second. So we're being rickrolled today because what we planned to do was what? Let's just talk about it just for a little bit.
What we planned to do was doing a Minecraft TDD episode, but the thing is, I program modifications for Minecraft.
Wow. And what
give me an example of
modification. Does it even have to be one I made?
No, just give us an example.
No. What's a mod?
I'll just show you. There's a really cool mod out there. In fact, it's one of the first ones that actually got the public's attention. It's called the Aether. It's a mod that adds like a kind of a heaven realm to Minecraft. It is really popular.
Wow, so you're trying to send Minecraft people to heaven.
And you can show it to us?
No, I
You might want to mention the URL though, because there's probably some people who care about Minecraft watching this episode.
Well, the URL
type it into your
can
browser.
Send in. Hold on. Hold on.
Minecraft is a 8-bit game running on 64-bit computers. What did they do with all those other leftover bits?
It's
Koala.
I don't know. It's 3D rendering pretty much. It's just the textures are just low resolution.
Uh-huh.
Really.
Yeah, the other 8 bits,
Yeah.
they took those 8 bits and they put them in a game called Roblox. Oh, sorry, David. That one won't hit you in the gut, but I just hit all those Minecrafter people in the gut. The
They,
people who are listening to the channel. Roblox is what the real people are playing,
N-
not Minecraft.
Not good game. Not good game. I disagree. I refuse to recognize that as a game.
hmm.
It's sort of a Coke versus
Okay.
Pepsi thing there.
I'm sorry, but I think the internet gods came in and put you on mute right when you said whatever fancy stuff you were saying about the other game. I didn't hear it.
Roblox is lesser than Minecraft.
I could
Basically,
go
it's a
Well, of
bring
game.
course
down
it
a
is. Yeah.
Roblox fan, and they'll tell you why you're
No, I think we
wrong.
can. Well, she's gonna keep on bringing up the same 2 points.
Okay,
So instead of wasting the time,
it's a great
let's
mod.
get into the
Yeah, yeah.
show.
So, did you ever show the URL to your mod that you do for Minecraft, or how can people find your mods if they want
That's
to?
not a. There's a website online called
Type
CurseForge.
it in a URL, show it to them.
All right. Where do I send this URL?
CurseForge.
Just send it.
Watch your language, kids.
Right there. That's the
You're
website.
showing. I see only your Eclipse. Maybe you're not sharing your screen, but you're showing just your Eclipse.
Yeah. Look what's highlighted.
Dude, I don't know. I don't have my reading glasses on right now, but if you want people,
Curse
can you read that,
Forge.
David?
Yeah. I can't.
Yep.
If I share my
With
full
my
screen, it's gonna lag
with my
everything.
binoculars, yeah.
I gotta teach this kid how to zoom. Some of my zoom moves.
CurseForge. Basically, this is not my mod. But this is one of the most popular mods out there. Can see this is not part of the base game, but somebody went ahead and coded all of that additionally.
Okay, so you're looking at an example of a mod. So, folks, here's the deal.
Yes.
The show was supposed to be about doing TDD to create a mod, just like the show title. But and the interesting thing about TDDing this type of application is if you're a developer, a seasoned developer, maybe seasoned with salt and pepper and other things, or sugar and spice and everything nice, you may think of running a mod against Minecraft is sort of like running a mod against any large external system, such as like a database or I suppose a network API. It's sort of like that. So now, to frame it up, the strategy here for doing TDD with a mod is to write some Java code that's going to talk to the Minecraft engine, let's call it that, and you're using APIs to communicate with the Minecraft engine to set up configuration details. And so that you can see that's a giant dependency. You got this giant Minecraft engine that you're talking to. So that's what we were going to do. So if you're interested in that, maybe we'll do it the next show, as long as Koala Esquire gets his build put together. That's what happened today is we didn't have a build ready for you. So instead of that, we're going to take a left turn over into, what was that, Koala? You were showing us some code over there?
This is the Roman numeral converter.
Okay. So what's the story with that? We did tests on this.
Does it currently run and compile? Because I see a lot of comments.
The comments were the previous thing when things weren't. We were trying something out, but
Okay.
it wasn't working. I can run the tests. Let's see. And when I run it, it should have a green bar, but it seems to be very slow today. Come on, run. And it's being very, very slow. My computer is being slow. I don't know what's going on. It is not running. It is outright refusing to run. But there we are. Got some green and 17 out of 17 successful runs.
All right. All right. So it's successfully converting an Arabic number to a Roman numeral.
Yes.
How about this? Let's convert a Roman numeral back to an Arabic number.
That could work. That'd
Want
be
to try
cool.
that?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So first of all,
So we've got something that can give us one direction, but not the other, huh?
Yes. Well, you can skitter to say hello. So we have
All
a
right.
simplified numeral thing.
Yeah, that's part of our converter, right? Convert to Roman. So let's write a test. Let's write a test over there in your test suite that test if we can convert from a Roman 7 to the Arabic numeral.
Let me think.
So let's write a new test. So we're going to, there you go. We're going to give it a 7. That's not going to be the expected value. The Arabic numeral 7 will be the expected value. And we will give it a Roman and expect this converter. Now we need to talk about the public interface of our converter that's on Roman numeral that will convert something to Arabic. Did you already change that?
I'm changing a few things. Expected.
Audience new to TDD.Academy, we're doing what's called a coding kata. This is a coding kata we started a few episodes back. We are in episode some number, I can't remember. So it's about 3 episodes back is when we started that. And that's where we started building the Roman numeral, a converter from
to
Roman.
Right. So I would guess we want to make the method.
So is that?
That's the test. So if we run it, it should be red.
Okay. Run it.
Yeah, there we have it.
Good
Arabic
job.
7 errors. So we can probably make a new method.
Yeah, we need a method.
Actually, this should be.
Oh, wow. So I'm surprised that it didn't pass. I thought we finished the converter. We didn't have all the...
We were going to try the other way around.
Oh, okay. So you're going from Roman to Arabic.
We're going from to Arabic.
I think the test methods are confusing then because I can't tell that. I see era 7 and that means either you're... I don't know what that means.
I think that's short for Arabic.
Yeah, like how NUM is for numeral.
To Arabic or convert from Arabic?
We made one that converts from Arabic.
So the test is converting a 7 Arabic to Roman numeral 7.
Like, so we should, if the easiest way I see this working is just returning a 7. And what is going on? Hold on.
And it failed. Can we rename the line on number 11 to Arabic 7 to Roman?
Thank
you.
Well, you're going the other way.
What do you mean?
You're going from Roman to Arabic.
Yeah, that's what all right, yeah.
Oh, okay. Good. By writing that down, I've caused a clarification. Roman 7 to Arabic. Hindu
Clarification
Arabic, by the way.
of
All the Hindus
of
are going to be
naming.
writing in on the show, but like, what's up with that? It's Hindu Arabic, not just Arabic.
Well, we're not using Hindu numerals. We're using Arabic numerals.
Well, it turns out Hindu Arabic is,
Well,
is what that root
let's-
7 is. We just shortened it here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I
that's-
learned looking on the internet.
All right.
Now I could, the internet can be wrong, and we've seen that, but it's just that it would what we were
have
taught in
seen that.
school.
Okay, so you've got-
we didn't give India any credit.
So you've got a method now,
Yep.
convert to Arabic.
Yeah.
It brings in a Roman string and returns an int.
Yes.
And it's going to return the int, 7, all the time.
Yes.
And you think that'll make your test pass?
That is correct.
I think it should if we've got everything wired up right. So let's run it and find out.
Give it a second. And yep, all passes. This one specifically passes.
All right.
And I run all of them because
right.
why not?
So is there any duplication in this implementation code, any bad code in the implementation that you would like to refactor?
Well, I would like something like this, pretty much. Kinda. I would like something like that. Simple one-liner that returns the thing.
That's
correct.
where you would get to after a while, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's write more tests.
if I gave you another Arabic number, another Roman numeral, could you write a test for another one?
Sure.
So let's do the Roman numeral 12 and convert it to Arabic.
All right, let's give that a shot. It should fail.
And it's failing because it probably got back a 7,
Yeah.
correct?
And it doesn't want a 7, it wants a 12.
Yeah. So what's the simplest thing you could do to get a passing test? That's the thing that Kent
Add
Beck.
12.
Do you know Kent Beck?
Nope.
Yeah, you could. You could do some sort of if test for if I got something greater than 7, then I should always return 12.
Yes. But instead, we should do something like here. Maybe we can reverse engineer something like this.
I think your steps are too big though if you do that. I think you'll get there.
Yeah, that's a pretty big step.
Yeah, let's chop the step
Let's
into
figure
multiple
out
steps.
how. Yeah, let's figure out how we get a 12 to return here.
Well,
So if Roman
all right, that should work.
Okay. So we're going to return a 12 or a 7 in
Yes,
pretty much all cases. Let's see if we've got a passing test.
and it does.
Yeah,
Green bar.
great. Okay, now let's go back to the implementation code and see if there's anything in here that is funny.
Well, we're
We've
gonna
only got.
turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
We only got. This is gonna turn into another one of these massive, super long.
Yeah,
If tree.
we're not gonna do that this time because we're gonna be smarter than we were last time.
Yep.
What happens if you start trying to do math on the problem instead of matching? Right now you're doing matching, whereas you're matching a string to a string.
Yes.
And you're saying if you get this match, then do 12. And if you don't get that match, then do 7. Instead of doing matching, let's do math. So
Well,
if I were to give you...
I was thinking, what if we like make a new method about what the simplified numeral, and we just copy it and we can call it complicate numeral, and we just undo these changes that these ones would do.
That seems like a really big step, and I think we can get there easier if we try to do math.
Why don't you give David's idea a try?
How about we say if your first character is an X, then the return value is 10 plus whatever else is in the string. That would be an I and an I, and that would mean your return value is 10 plus 2.
By the way, I want to welcome those from LinkedIn who are viewing us
I
as we're
probably don't need
live
these.
streaming there today, and our friends at Facebook.
Yeah, that's looking good. Good job.
And of course, if you're a Periscope user, we're broadcasting there as well.
All right. So.
Okay. And then how do we deal with that II? So we've got to subtract off the 10, right? We've got to get rid of the X and see what's left after. We've got to see what's left in our string after we get rid of the X.
I have an idea.
Okay, how did we get... You're probably doing this. How do we get a 7? We did a V and an II, right?
Yeah, so maybe we can...
So, yeah, you're going to need that. So if you get an X, do 10, and if you get a V, do 5. Take what's left, and if you get II, do 2. Yep. And I'd be surprised if this works, but we've got tests that will tell us if this works, don't we?
Yep.
So I don't think, yeah. You can run the test and we'll see if this works. I don't think it's going to. I think something's missing.
Well, I'll wait to find out. Oh, they're agreeing.
All right. So we've got a test. So now let's put in, so we've got working code. That's great. Is there anything we want to simplify here?
Mm,
What happens if I
no.
gave you a 6?
All right, let's write a test and see what happens.
Okay. We've got expect 7.
Oh, right.
Thank you. We should see 6 probably fail
Yeah.
because it probably gets a 7, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got to deal with if you see on the next character you see an I, then add 1 and take that character and throw it away. Right?
Yeah. So we can maybe do a.
So how'd we get rid of the first character?
We do substring 1 because basically it makes a substring with that starts out at 1, the index 1. So like if I have like if the index is 0, then it get all of them. But if the index is 1, it kind of chops the A off and just returns all of that stuff.
Yeah, right. So we need to look for I's like we look for V's and X's.
Yeah.
And if we find an I, we want to add 1 to our return value.
But this still wouldn't work.
Well, it'll work for 6, and now we have to loop over and keep going, right? We need something to call us back again if with the remainder of what we have in our string. So do you know about recursion?
No.
Oh, this might be a crack your brain open. What happens if convert to Arabic calls convert to Arabic?
Then if you don't have a thing to opt out of it, then it goes for a massive it goes
Infinite
for
loop.
Yeah, kind of stack overflows here. I'll demonstrate.
Stack Overflow. Okay, that's kind of where Stack Overflow was named, wasn't it?
Yeah, like here.
So you think you can create a Stack Overflow here?
Yes, I can. This should do the trick. Let's run it. And it's taking an extra long time to run. And
and somebody is going to step in.
See, it's saying Stack
and
Overflow.
Give us a Stack Overflow.
And you can see the stack trace is like miles long.
Okay. So what we have now is called a recursive function. It recurses. It goes back and calls itself. And we have a recursive function without an end condition. And that's the classic mistake. So we need an end condition, and we need to do something every time we recurse. What we need to do is take the first character and compare it to X and V and I, and do the right thing on X, V, and I, and throw that character away and call convert to Roman on our new substring. Are you following me here?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you write that code?
I can try.
Bet you can.
Just But now it's saying that this is never actually used. What should we do about that?
So you've got to return your return value
Yeah,
every
somehow.
time. So you've got to have a return in here.
Yeah, it's returning on itself.
Yeah, okay. That's not quite the way you do it. You want me to help you out here? You want to
Sure.
return your return value, and in the other cases of your return value should keep looping, you want to call your function again. So now you need to know whether or not you've gone all the way through your string.
So how do I do that?
Well, there's a number of ways to do that, and I thought you might catch on here. So one way is to say I need to run through this thing character by character. So I would call this whole thing character number of times, character count number of times.
So if I do like if Roman dot length is less than or equal to 0, then like return value or something.
Okay, yeah. That would return the calculated value, return value. And if it's greater than 0, then we would do the rest of this logic.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting way you're writing this, but I'm trying to parse it in my old school Java head. You think this will work?
Doubtful, because return value is still like, it's gonna just return 0.
Well, it gets Roman, which right now is like VXII 12.
Yeah.
It gets XII, and it goes, the length of that is 3, which is less than 0. So it's going to return, 3 is not less than 0, sorry. So it's going to skip over the return statement and go into the thing.
But
it's going to get a 10. It's going to add 10 to return value.
Actually, I have a simple solution to this issue, actually. Hold on, I'm gonna just do that. I'll just make this private because you're not actually supposed to use it. So then we would want to return value of that. So this should theoretically work, right? Oh wait, no it won't actually, because...
Well, I don't know what you were trying to do there. Can you explain to me in English?
So basically, this return value is getting set to 0 every time. So it's gonna just, eventually, it's gonna just always return 0. So I thought we gotta pass in the return value at the end of running so it can use that in future calculations.
Oh, you need to pass it along to your call again, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so I made a private method to that has a place where you can put it.
I see. You seem to be trying to solve a problem that we haven't seen a test prove that we have yet. You're good about solving future problems, Koala.
Yeah.
That you're thinking ahead. You're thinking ahead and losing me behind, but you're thinking ahead. That's good. You might want to concentrate on the current problem, though.
Which is?
Well, I think the current problem is iterating through our string. So we've got a string in Roman.
Yes.
And we need to iterate through that string by characters. Right?
Yeah.
So iterating through a string by characters is usually done in like a for loop or something. And we don't have one.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it. Another way to do the iterating through the string would be with this if statement and recursively calling ourself.
Yeah.
Which is another way to do it, a recursion technique.
Yeah.
That
Usually I just go along with a for loop.
You want to try a for loop instead? Might be simpler.
I want to give this a shot first, but yeah.
All right. Well, run your test and see if it works.
Oh, it worked.
Okay, so explain to me in English what's happening here, because I see a lot of duplicated code.
What happens here is it basically first defines a return value as 0, right?
Yeah.
If it's less than 0, then it just returns to 0. So like if we have a test with 0, actually don't know if we actually have one. It should work. We have Roman.
Well, there's no way to pass a 0. There's no such thing as a 0 in Roman numerals.
So it should just be blank, right?
Okay.
So if we run that, it should still work. Because the length of this is 0, and it returns to 0.
Okay.
And if it isn't 0, then it goes through this, and it goes with the start split thing, and it adds the return value and just puts it in the here with one. Basically, it chops the first numeral off of Roman.
And passes the substring into the recursive function.
Yes.
Along with the return value.
Yeah.
And the return value gets passed in, and then you start converting in a different method.
Yes, because this needs the you need to pass along the return value.
Okay. And then when this one gets a length of 0,
it returns the return value, which in turn this gets returned through here, and gets spat out back here, and that gets asserted.
Okay. So do you think this will work for anything like below about 20?
I don't think so. Because
what do you think this function will work for? It'll work for 6. It looks like it'll work for 7.
But what about 4?
Well, okay, that's a good question. Will it work for 4? I don't think it will.
Me neither.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, errored, and well, it didn't error. It didn't work.
What did it fail with?
It expected 4, but was 6.
Okay, it was 6. So tell me how it calculated 6.
Because basically this is going along with, let's just put IV. It goes around here, and then it looks, oh wow, it does not starts with this, does not starts with it, but it does starts with I. So it adds one, and then it chops this off, and then it goes again, and it goes,
Uh-huh.
doesn't start with X, but it does starts with V. So it adds here,
1
it adds
plus
5.
5.
So in the end, it's 6. Then it
Uh-huh.
doesn't add with this, and then it gets called again, and then right here it says if it's less than 0, then it returns the return value, which is
Uh-huh.
6. So it gets 6 returned.
Yeah. So we need to treat 4 as if it were one character instead of, quote, it's really 2 characters, but we need to treat it wholly as a whole thing.
Yeah.
This is a Roman numeral trick. So we need to add a 4 check. So
I would say down here.
yeah.
Now this is what me and my friends would call a lazy solution that would probably work. Because since 4 is 2 characters, to get rid of one thing wouldn't work. So we have to get rid of 2. So since one of them has already gotten rid of down here, all we have to do is get rid of 1 up here. That should work, right? Then we have to do that here. Actually, instead of doing everything up here,
Don't
what
you
do you
need to
sleep?
put that?
Yeah, we need to put that here. So that should work.
Don't you need to put brackets around those 2 statements? I'm looking at this
Oh
Java and
yeah,
thinking,
definitely. I completely spaced. Yeah, you do need to put brackets if there's 2 statements.
okay.
So if
Those are
we
called
run this
braces.
through, it should work.
Just FYI.
Braces, not
Or technically it's
brackets.
a circumflex.
And
That's what the typesetting is
Oh.
actually,
called.
it returns
Don't you
5.
circumflex on me, buddy.
So yes, folks, on TDD
Okay,
Academy,
so-
you learn the right ways to call all your symbols on your keyboard so you can flex your knowledge in front of others.
You can circumflex appropriately.
Well, it's not working now, so we gotta go ahead and the lazy solution did not work, so we have to go ahead and do this.
Why didn't it? Number 4, return value
Oops.
is plus, the return value adds 4 to it with a substring of 2 of Roman. Yeah, I don't know what line 35 was supposed to do. It doesn't, it's a
I'm
no
kind of
op.
lost too. He's making wholesale wild changes, and he knows what he's doing, but he hasn't clued his partner in. So I'm
Well,
lost.
we need to get the length of this
So
thing.
Koala, when you do substring, it doesn't change what's in Roman. It just returns the substring.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
basically doing nothing.
Oh yeah.
Adding
That statement isn't having the effect that you want it to have.
there you go. Now you might now what you were thinking about might work with 4, but now so check out the phenomena that's happening. What you're doing is you've now rolled out this change on multiple lines of code, 27, 32, 37, 41, without even knowing if it works with one of those versions. And so now when you discover it still doesn't work, you're going to have to go change a bunch, like 4 different sites again. So it's better to just focus on one site. You know, can it does it work with 4 before you start copy pasting it all over the place? It's like you're releasing you're releasing things too quickly within your method. Does that make sense? Because if it doesn't work, now you're going to have to update it in 4 places. And then you go, oh, well, maybe I'll add it to less than or equal to 0. Now you stick it in another place, and another place. And next thing you know, you're spending more time updating. Your experiment's getting more expensive every time you do that.
Yeah. Well, let's give it a shot first.
It's like picking a bar fight with 5 people instead of just 1.
Hold
So
on.
if you're going to pick a bar fight, folks, start with 1.
I don't think Koala has picked any bar fights lately. You're giving him an analogy he probably can't quite understand.
Oh, he watches TV.
Well, it is It's not working now.
And
So,
now it's not
Okay, so it's
and
not working.
on multiple places, right? 4, 5,
yeah,
12, and 7. Now you got a bunch of angry people in the bar.
Now we've got a total mess
yeah,
instead of one breaking thing.
yeah.
So, yeah, Lance's suggestion was probably pretty smart. So, what do you think is wrong with it?
Well, I don't know at the moment.
So,
Oh,
so pick one
okay.
number and let's talk about it. Which brawler in the bar do you want to pick,
Hold,
you want to address?
hold on. We are having a bit of a technical issue.
No, no technical issue. This is just coding. I don't know what technical issue you're referring to.
There's a technical issue with my IDE and how it interacts with my system. Asking some.
Um, I'm at a loss. I don't know what you're talking
Just
about.
give us a second. There's just
Okay.
a technical issue that he needs to solve right
It's
now.
called screen time. Is that what I see waiting for? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. It's funny. Your screen looks fine so far, but oh, here it is. Eclipse is coming up.
No, it's because I paused the thing before it happened.
Boom. There we go. Koala has a really annoying IT guy who put controls on his apps. That IT guy's trying to keep his grades up.
Okay.
So it was expected 6 to return, but was 1. So
Okay.
VI,
Koala,
so it
which
starts
test do
with
you want to make
V.
pass? What's the goal here? One goal at a time. So
What do
you
you
have,
mean?
look at your failing tests. How many do you have there? 12, 7, 4, and 6.
I believe I see the issue right here.
I don't think you should, I think you're going to end up off the reservation again. Because you didn't tell me what test you're trying to correct.
Well, I believe that's the issue. That
So if you can't tell me what
He's
test
I'm
you're
trying to correct
them all.
then
Yeah.
you're just
I,
doing crazy
I
stuff.
I am trying to all of them at
Don't
once
do
because I
that,
see a
man.
simple issue right here.
Again, you're in the bar. Hey, you over there, sir. You look like a really big jerk. And hey, that guy next to you, he looks like a wuss. I mean, come on. Why would you do that? Pick one at a time if you want to win the bar brawl. You've seen it.
Well, he's already picked 4 guys. So run the test and see if you're correct.
He's going to go for the wild swings, huh? Shoo, shoo.
And you're all knocked out.
Oh. Well, that's good. I'm glad
Beat
you
them
won the
all
bar
up.
fight, but it's not a good tactic. I'm just telling you, man. You're going to get piled on.
Do you understand the tactic that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, don't try to attack everyone at once, but there's really no easy way to do that.
Yes.
And
There was a better way to do that, but
It's okay. You survived.
you went rogue and went and picked a fight with everybody, as the metaphor goes. I don't like the
metaphor. He does that just
metaphor.
because he has a bristly haircut.
Using that
He's got that
metaphor
whole hair hanging down there. He's trying to pick a fight with the whole village.
Bar fights are right out. I don't believe in fighting in the bar. Drinking, that's what bars are for. All right. So now that we have all green test, what do you want to do?
I want to refactor my implementation.
Oh, you do? What refactoring would you like to make?
Well, I would like something simple and neat to look at like this instead of this. It's kind of a mess, you know.
How would you get something like that?
Well, instead of something like that, we can have a new method that kind of does all of this stuff. Like we can do
where you're already 2 methods deep in your call structure. You've got convert to Arabic and convert to Arabic with 2 parameters.
Yeah.
So tell me how you're going to simplify this by making another method.
I was thinking of a method that when you put X, it returns this, for example. Like we can when you put X, it in fact, yeah, when you put X, it will get you 10, and it will get rid of one of the Roman thing. Basically, it's compressing this entire thing into a single line.
So trying to map it, sounds like.
Yeah, basically mapping it.
Okay.
And
So that's, I mean, what do you think, David? Sounds,
Um, yeah, go ahead and do what you want to do there.
we have like we could close the show soon, or we could close the show maybe 15 minutes. So what you're proposing is, so okay. So how about this? Let's find out if the strategy works by picking a bar fight with one of them. So which one are we going to use this mapping for? You go ahead and pick one of those if statements to get rid of.
let's get rid of this one.
Which one is that?
Okay.
X.
Oh, okay.
10.
Sorry, little leg there. All right, so if you declare a data structure, what data structure can you use to map an X to a number, a value?
Maybe a hash map?
Sounds fine to me, because the value is X, and it'll map it to the other thing, which is a number. So the hash is your value.
This old map. Has some old maps from previous
Code you're desperate
episode.
to put to use.
Yes.
So
I usually
so
comment
go ahead
them
and delete
out.
everything but one, so you can. Wow. I'm worried here. Tree map is coming back. We didn't get this to work last time. Did we?
We don't need tree map. We just need hash map.
Save some trees, man. Okay, integer. So you want to flip your types from, you probably want string to integer. Is that fair?
Yeah. But wait, can't you, hold on, let me do a little simple test.
Hold on. So before you do that, let's get your data structure set up, okay? Because none of us understand what you're, so you're what is this?
You've totally lost me, Koala.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're trying to do.
I'm basically trying to figure out if you can get the key by the value, but I don't think you can. So,
well, if you,
well, I think you want a map that takes a string and returns an integer.
Yeah. So look at your template function. It doesn't look quite right for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna refactor this, and I'm gonna duplicate it, and I'm gonna make a new one. Come on. Factor with name, and let's name this Roman. Oops. All right, and we can copy this, and after it stops flagging everything to oblivion. Okay.
Well, you did a lot of stuff, but all I see is you renamed something and you didn't change what I thought you were going to change.
Well, I think we might actually use this in the future, but
Don't worry about the future.
Don't worry about the future, buddy. Let's work on the now.
so Arabic. Gonna swap everything
okay, hold
around.
on. Back to the bar fight analogy. Don't pick a fight with all those numbers. Just start with one
All
at
right,
a time.
all right.
Because otherwise you're going to have to update it 10 more times when it doesn't work. So delete it all. You should have only one entry because we're just picking a fight with X, I think you said?
Yep.
All right, good. I just saved your bacon. I'm just trying to be a good wingman in your bar here.
Yeah, that was a good move, Koala. Deleting all those things and just changing the. Yeah, I don't know why we have this other stuff up above
I'd
it.
clean that out too.
I'd like to have that deleted.
That's gonna go in the dead code section.
Right now. And we're going to have to teach him about the copy paste cop someday too. That would probably cut down on that.
Oh yeah.
David loves the copy paste cop. He and that cop are good friends.
Good friends, yeah. We're on first name basis. Yeah. So what have you got now, Koala? You've got a map that takes a string and it takes an integer and it returns an Arabic. Is that what this thing does?
Yeah. So it takes a string. So if X starts with, so we can have we also would need a list, but for now,
Well, wait, hey, hold on. I think you got
triangle.
enough. I actually don't think you need anything more. So I think
We do need a list to keep the order of
we
the
don't care
map.
about the order of the map. Okay.
We do actually.
Okay. So here's my
We
proposal.
we don't
Here's my
right now.
proposal is if you go to line 35 and you want to do, actually, you want to change line 35 to be Arabic dot get X, and it will return to you a 10. So
Yeah.
so don't type in line 14. So go ahead and comment that out or something. I mean, 14 you can delete. That's not valuable. But that line, I would go ahead and comment out that if statement, just in case you care to refer to it. David knows the shortcut to that, though. Actually, the Xcode one, that probably won't help here. Okay, so now type in Arabic.get and then Roman. Put in your Roman parameter. So get and then put in your Roman parameter. Now
Yeah.
in theory, no, it's just Roman. Okay, if you want to do X first, that's fine. Okay, that's okay. Let's try that. And then do,
Yeah.
and then the next step is to, now you're getting your return value. Yeah, okay, let's just try that. It may not
Yeah.
work, but this is me going with the understanding of how I think it should work.
I believe this would create a Stack Overflow, honestly.
Wow.
Yep.
Stack Overflow. So why do we get Stack Overflow?
Because we never decremented we never got rid of the first thing.
You're in a recursive function of function calls that we have
to deal with the substring, right? Okay, so type in Roman equals substring. I'm trying to decide. Okay, I have a proposal here. Go ahead and go back to 37, uncomment it, and then we're going to do a smaller change. Uncomment line 37, and we're going to move